It turns its head to look directly at you. Not the way most insects do. Not a random twitch, not a reflex. It orients its flat triangular face, those enormous alien eyes, straight at you, and it holds your gaze. You freeze. You don't know why, exactly. It's just a garden bug. It's barely 3 inches long. But something about the way it's watching you makes you feel like you're the one being sized up. Most people's next move is to back away slowly, or reach for a shoe, or call the whole thing off and go back inside. What nobody tells you is this: the mantis already knew you were there before you spotted it. It's been watching you for longer than you think, and it was never, not even for a second, interested in you at all. Let's be clear about why the praying mantis makes people so uncomfortable. It doesn't move like an insect. It moves like something that has considered its options. It tilts its head. It tracks. When it holds perfectly still on a branch, its spiked forelegs folded up like it's about to do something deliberate, and it is. Your brain files it somewhere between predator and alien. The internet hasn't helped. There are videos of mantises snatching hummingbirds, catching fish, wrestling frogs. Clips of females biting the heads off their mates. The reputation is aggressive, calculating, dangerous. Here is what you actually need to know. Every bit of that ferocity is real. And every bit of it is pointed somewhere other than you. Start with those eyes, because that's what everybody notices first. A praying mantis has 5 eyes. 2 large compound eyes that you can see, and 3 smaller simple eyes clustered between them that most people never even register. The 2 big ones aren't just for show. In the entire world of insects, across roughly 1 million known species, the praying mantis is the only one with stereoscopic vision. Not approximately stereo, not a rough equivalent. Actual depth perception. The same fundamental ability humans use to reach out and pick up a glass without knocking it over. Every other insect has eyes on the sides of its head and sees the world in flat, 2-dimensional fields. The mantis has eyes that face forward, with overlapping fields of view, and a brain that fuses the 2 images into a precise 3-dimensional map of whatever is in front of it. Researchers at Newcastle University spent years studying exactly how this works. They built miniature 3D glasses, actual bespectacled insects, and showed mantises movies with illusory moving targets at different depths. The mantis tried to catch them every time the virtual prey appeared at the right distance to strike. What they discovered was that mantis stereoscopic vision operates on a completely different principle than human depth perception. We process the difference between 2 static images. The mantis only processes what's changing, what's moving, and calculates distance from that motion alone. It ignores everything static and locks onto movement with extraordinary precision. Then there's the neck. The mantis has a flexible, elongated thorax that functions exactly like a neck, allowing its head to rotate up to 180 degrees independently of its body. It can be standing still on a stem, facing away from you, and swing its head all the way around to lock eyes on you without moving a single leg. That's the moment that unsettles people. That head turn. It feels deliberate because it is. The mantis is using that precise 3D vision to calculate exactly where you are, exactly how large you are, and, very quickly, that you are not food. Now for the piece that changes how you'll look at your garden for the rest of your life. The praying mantis doesn't eat plants. It doesn't chew wood, contaminate food, or damage anything in your yard. It is a pure predator, built from the ground up for one function: hunting insects. Its camouflaged body, usually green or brown, able to shift shade slightly after molting to match its surroundings, means it can sit motionless on a stem, and be genuinely invisible to anything walking past. When it does move, it sways slowly, mimicking a plant moving in a breeze, reducing the chance that prey detects anything out of the ordinary until it's already too late. The strike, when it comes, is one of the fastest movements in the animal kingdom. Those folded front legs aren't decoration. They're called raptorial legs, lined with interlocking spines that snap shut in under 50 milliseconds. Flies, moths, beetles, grasshoppers, caterpillars, aphids, all of them gone before their nervous systems even registered a threat. The mantis doesn't chase. It waits. And when something of the right size moves into range, the calculation happens in an instant. Here's the detail that tends to stop people cold. Research tracking mantis hunting behavior has shown that their aggression scales with hunger in a measurable way. A well-fed mantis shrinks its attention to prey that's very close. It won't bother pursuing distant targets. A hungry mantis actively tracks prey from much further away and will initiate pursuit. The mantis in your garden is running a constant, real-time cost-benefit calculation. It is not acting on instinct alone. It is, by insect standards, making decisions. Some of those decisions are impressive enough to make the news. Researchers have documented wild mantises fishing. One individual returned to the same garden pond for 5 consecutive nights, using a lily pad as a hunting platform, and caught 9 guppies in dim light and darkness, despite the visual complication of looking through water. A creature widely assumed to be a simple ambush bug turned out to be capable of learning a new hunting strategy and refining it over multiple nights. The prey list you should care about as a gardener: aphids, leafhoppers, caterpillars, moths, beetles, flies. The mantis will go through that list indiscriminately, which means it will occasionally catch something beneficial: a bee, a butterfly, and this is worth being honest about. The mantis is not targeted pest control. It is not discriminating. But it is also free, and it is always on, and it never stops. So here's what you actually want to know. Can a praying mantis bite you? Yes, technically. It has sharp mandibles designed to cut through insect exoskeleton, and if it mistakes a slow-moving fingertip for prey, which is unlikely given that its 3D vision allows it to accurately assess scale, or if it feels cornered and threatened, it can bite. In practice, this almost never happens unless a person handles one roughly. For most adults, the mandibles can't even break skin. For larger mantis species approaching 5 or 6 inches, a bite feels like a minor pinch, roughly equivalent to a paper cut. There's no venom. There's no lasting effect. Wash it with soap and water and move on. The reputation for being aggressive toward humans comes almost entirely from the head-turning behavior, that slow, deliberate rotation of the face toward you, and from the defensive posture a threatened mantis will take, standing tall, spreading its wings, reaching its forelegs wide. This is a bluff. It has no chemical defenses, no venom, no meaningful way to harm anything larger than a cricket. The whole display is designed to look bigger. It's working on you the same way it works on birds. This comes up over and over with backyard creatures. We have inherited a reflex that judges animals by their silhouette, by their movement style, by how alien they look. The mantis turns its head and holds your gaze, and somewhere in your brain an old alarm goes off. Something is watching you. And things that watch you usually want something. But the mantis isn't a predator to you. It isn't anything to you. You are an enormous, warm, slow-moving obstacle in the landscape. And the mantis has precisely zero interest in you once it's determined you aren't food. What it does want, and what it's doing in your garden right now, silent on a stem, waiting, is exactly the work you'd be paying an exterminator to do. The reason we want to reach for a shoe when something looks at us is the same reason we've survived as long as we have. But that survival reflex was never calibrated for a 3-inch insect with better depth perception than most mammals. So next time one turns its head to look at you, here's what's worth doing. First, let it stay. A mantis that's set up on your plants is actively working through your pest population. Relocate it only if it's somewhere genuinely inconvenient, and even then, move it to another part of the garden rather than killing it. Second, if you want more of them, stop spraying broad-spectrum insecticide indiscriminately. It kills the mantis along with everything it hunts, and you lose the hunter while the pest populations rebuild faster. Third, look for the egg cases in fall. A praying mantis lays its eggs in a foamy casing attached to a stem, which hardens into a buff-colored papery mass about the size of a walnut. Leave those cases alone. Each one hatches dozens to hundreds of tiny, immediately hunting nymphs in spring, and every one of them starts catching aphids before they're even fully grown. If you made it this far and you're going to think twice before grabbing a shoe, this channel is for you. One misunderstood backyard creature at a time, separating what's actually dangerous from what just looks that way. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, because next time we're going after a creature that's been on Earth for 300 million years, survives inside your walls, and whose only real threat to you is what it tells you about your humidity levels.